arguably more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it's not, it does not matter.
When it just makes sense, it's your red pill, it's your brown girl, searching for the truth, it's your red pill, it's your brown girl. When it just makes sense, brown girl, it's your red pill, searching for the truth, brown girl, it's your red pill. When it just makes sense, brown girl, it's your red pill. Get into the truth, get into the truth. Brown girl, it's your red pill.
Brown girl.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? It's Crystal, red-pilled brown girl, coming at you. Oh my gosh, it's been so long, you guys. Well, it hadn't been that long. But it's been a little while since we have catched up. I do not know if you guys have caught me on Christian Conservative with KJ and CJ. You guys, that has been the best. I don't know if you know, but most of you guys follow me on Poppin' Politics, or used to follow me on Poppin' Politics. That's when I kind of started my whole podcasting journey. Poppin' Politics, shout out to them. But me and KJ were the two declared Christians on the show. And her and I, we have a great chemistry. And so we decided to do a podcast with just us. And we get to talk all these things like political, social, like cultural things from a Christian perspective. So you guys, go and follow Christian Conservative with KJ and CJ. But anyway, I've been doing that and I've been having a great time. So I have not gotten a chance to go live for a couple of days now with you guys, my red pills out there. I love y'all. It's been so much going on. I wanted to start off with just this whole, y'all, it's a mess. It like everything to me that the Democrats are doing, the only thing that I can say is their constituents don't hate them enough. And I don't think conservatives, because y'all, you know, we God-fearing, we're loving, we're kind people. We don't hate the Democrats enough. We don't hate them enough. I know the Bible tells us not to hate. But when I say they have shown themselves to be pure and utter evil. And you know what? I'm so grateful. So if I can say one thing about President Trump and him being in office is I think that he's bringing a lot of things to the forefront that most of us didn't even know. We just never assumed. It's like having a mom or dad who is supposed to take care of you and they end up squandering your entire future. Like, that's not normal, right? Like, you kind of just assume that your mom has your back, your dad has your back. Like, that's how I feel about this government. The only word that I could think of for Joe Biden and Barack Hussein Obama is betrayal. Like utter betrayal. But it's not just them. It's been going on for a really long time. But I'm so glad that President Trump has been putting it to the forefront. And it's so funny because he has been saying this for the better part of like 40 years, okay? He's been saying that our government is corrupt. He's been saying that the leadership in the presidency is terrible. And they've been trying to egg him to run president. And of course, you know, back in the day, he's a business guy. He's kind of taking care of, you know, his family, making money. He didn't run at all. But gosh, you just wonder, like, if somebody had listened to him, or if he did run, like, what position we would be in again, like today. Because when I say that these people are evil, I think I'm being kind when I use the word evil to describe these Democrats and these these Republicans that have completely sold out the American people. Today, I'm just gonna kind of start with this whole press conference, which I just think is just the best. Where hold on, let me see. Elon Musk is kind of talking about what he's doing, and I think this is so important. Let's look at it real quick.
Match the will of people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And then we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that
y'all can hear it, but y'all got to see it real quick. That's good. Let's do side by side. Let's do that. All right, come on.
Which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it's not. It does not match the will of people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking because we spend a lot of money on defense, and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
Wow. I'm so glad he said that, you guys. Okay, so let's start off. Let's start off, and I think it's really important that we talk about these people are being as transparent as possible. I mean, they're talking on X, they are talking in the White House, they are talking like in the plane, like on their way to the Super Bowl game. Like, and people are still saying that they are taking advantage of the American people's privacy. Like, he explained it in as plain of language as possible. We cannot continue to have a deficit of $2 trillion. The interest alone on $2 trillion is more than our defense budget. So when you hear that, right? And if you're American and you hear that, I don't hear somebody trying to steal our money, the richest person in the world trying to take what we have. Like, I don't understand what these Democrats are doing or saying. Like, they are literally living in la la land. They are so delusional, or they're corrupt. One or the other, like delusional or corrupt. This man is saying that we cannot sustain this and we need to fix it. He is as sincere as possible. They are being as open and transparent. Lord knows the God, man, let me tell you, President Trump has had how many press conferences? It's only been 4 weeks since he's been president, almost. And he's had press conferences. He's had people in the White House. He is talking to them. He is trying to provide understanding, trying to provide transparency, and people are constantly rejecting it. And it's to the point where our leaders, you guys, the Democrat leaders, I am to the point where I was trying to ignore them. And I was trying to say, you know what, maybe they don't understand. But now I'm to the point where some serious charges need to be pressed. Because they are liars. They are flat out liars. Liars. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to share with you something. But shout out to Little X. Is he so cute you got? Oh my God. Let's go back to that. He is the cutest little thing, okay? Like, look how cute he is. And at one point in time, he was sticking his fingers up his nose and he had both fingers. Don't you just love these moments? Oh my God. If you have kids and you're not a childless cat lady, Camilla Harris, you look at those things and you know that there is some kind of genuineness that is happening there, that he would bring his little son in there to listen. Like, you're not going to do that if you corrupt. I mean, you're really not. Like you gonna bring your son and you just lying. Like, the son was there and soaking it all up. You guys, I thought that was like everything that people like Elon Musk or people like Donald Trump do is very, very intentional. Very intentional. And Elon Musk for a while has been trying to convince people to procreate, and how our population rate has declined substantially. I think we're at a 1.7. Like, nobody's having babies. And like, you can't sustain the population. We need more people. And Elon Musk actually talks about this, and he says we need more people to make the population great. I think he's kind of like having his son around for people to kind of see how great and wonderful kids are. Y'all, I love my children. I love how well behaved his kids were. I love how his kid is soaking it in but still being himself. At one point in time, he put little X on his shoulders and he was like touching his hair and stuff. Oh, it was just the cutest. And I think that he's also trying to have more babies, pour into them, love on them. And that's where this whole Department of Education thing is going. I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it because it's something serious. But before I do, these people are leaders. I'm here in Maryland, right? And Maryland has a huge Social Security Administration, like headquarters here. Like, I mean, it's like huge. And the Social Security Administration people held I don't know what you want to call it. Like, they held a protest outside to protest Elon Musk and Doge. And they specifically said they are getting rid of Social Security. Like, these people, like, y'all, they're liars. I'm trying to figure out if it's lies or it's just flat out dishonesty. Y'all, everybody knows that President Trump is not getting rid of Social. So for him to say that is just flat out dishonest. Watch this man. Watch. This is Senator Chris Van Hollen. And then I'm going to also talk about a few other people, okay? You see these people standing in the back. Let's talk about it.
Here today, as you can see, we have one simple message, which is Elon Musk, keep your hands off of our Social Security.
Everybody cheers. Uninformed people in the back are cheering, saying that Elon Musk is trying to get rid of Social Security. I know for a fact that President Trump is not trying to get rid of Social Security. J.D. Vance answered this question a few times, like, getting rid of Social Security. No, we don't want to get rid of Social Security. We want to get rid of unnecessary Social Security jobs. All y'all people back there cheering, we could probably afford more Social Security if we didn't have all of y'all. The fact of the matter is there is massive government spending and waste that is unnecessary. It's clear it's unnecessary. Y'all standing outside on the street instead of working and trying to find efficiencies, working with the administration that is there. trying to find ways to be more efficient, trying to find ways to use the American taxpayer better. You are out there protesting like somebody owes you a job. No one owes you a government job. Should I say that? Do we need jobs in government? Absolutely. Yes, we do. Yeah, we need jobs. No one owes you a government job. Sis, bruh. You have to do something that I know is very foreign to these entitled, bratty Americans. You have to add value. And instead of you being out there protesting, then maybe, just maybe, it would be better if you were working. Calling up Doge and saying, hey, I found how we can save money this way. I found out how we can be more efficient this way. I found out that we can process payments a little bit faster this way. I found out that we can do better by our staff this way. You're outside protesting like somebody owes you something. And then you wonder why the American people are clapping for Doge. Hey, Marissa Mack. Hey, Matthew. Y'all, that's my honey. Y'all know. Y'all already know. You guys, I'm looking at the comments. Good evening. Hey, girl. Thanks for watching. Y'all, this is crazy. This is insane that these people think, exactly, the entitlement is astounding. We don't owe you a job. And for all these Democrats, I'm sorry, can we just speak it? All these Democrats that say, oh, F around and find out. You guys voted for this. Yes, we did. I know I did. President Trump has been, they scored him at like 90. They scored him at like 70% for doing what he campaigned on and doing what he said he was going to do. We wanted Doge. We've been speaking about Doge since before the election. We wanted government efficiency. We wanted you guys to be audited. We wanted to know where are our tax dollars. That's what we voted for. We sure did. Not upset about it at all. Hey, Donna, that's my sister. That's my sister. And so all these people saying, oh, leaving MAGA, they're like, leaving MAGA is a real thing. No, it's not. Don't believe the hype, y'all. Ain't nobody leaving MAGA. If anything, MAGA is cracking up, watching these people lose their minds. No one owes you a government job. Go build a rocket. I know Elon Musk is hiring for that. Go build a new efficient way to build cars. Yes. Go do something. Go discover the next invention. You know how they discovered the light bulb? Discover something. But no one owes you a government job for you to push papers. So I'm sorry. If DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, has determined that your job is not needed and not necessary, learn to code. That's what you told the poor workers. And it's so annoying to me. Marissa, yes, he's doing an amazing job. You are so right, girlfriend. Gaslighting at its finest. It's so amazing to me that these people are protesting to get a government job or to make people give them a government job. Nobody protested when the steel workers' jobs went overseas. Nobody protested for that. They said, bye-bye. Sorry. It went over to China and other countries. No one protested for the steel workers to keep their jobs. Nobody protested for the car manufacturers to keep their jobs. Nobody protested when the people at the border or the drill baby drill, when those people were losing their jobs when they were producing oil. Nobody protests for those jobs. And you think that I'm going, with my good sense, Gonna protest for you to keep your government job so you can sit in your cubicle with your illegal space heater and your coffee that we pay for as tax workers and want you to stay there and do nothing? Go do something else. The mandate is make America great. And if you can't figure out a way to make Social Security want to keep you, to make Doge want to keep you, bye-bye. Not apologizing for it. Not apologizing for it at all. And y'all, that's how MAGA gotta get. Y'all, we bossing up in this season, okay? Period. We are bossing up. Like, we are not gonna be bullied by these people. Listen to these people at this press conference. You gotta let me keep going. So also Brooks, the new senator, I'm so over her, y'all. I'm so over her. But let's listen to a little bit of her. I'm so over her. Let's listen to a little bit of her.
Have that conversation about cutting costs, but how deeply unserious and how deeply callous is it to cut costs on the backs of the veteran? Do we cut costs on the backs of the kid in Head Start, the grandmother on Medicare? How shameful is all of this? How shameful is it? And I want you to shame. This is shameful. It is disgusting. And you know what? Tell me this. And this is important for us to notice. This is what Senator Van Hollen was pointing our attention to. Is this also, it's all a rouge. What is it about? Does cutting Medicare lower the cost of eggs? I don't think so. How does slashing funding at the Social Security Administration cut the cost of gas? How does firing a bunch of civil servants lower the cost of housing? And how does Elon Musk having access to Social Security lower the cost of prescription drug medications? It doesn't. It's been already a whole month, and we have yet to see this administration do any of what is promised, a single attempt to lower costs for Marylanders or for the American people. Something the president vowed to do on day one, and he has not done it. The day they want to start doing that work, then my door is open, as are the doors of all of my colleagues here who are here, whose doors are open to do the work on behalf of the American people. So for as long as they continue to keep hardworking Marylanders in their crosshairs, for as long as they continue this awful witch hunt that will harm working class Americans everywhere. And let me tell you, this man is hurting people who voted for him, the people who didn't vote for him, and the people who did not vote at all. He's hurting all Americans in a way that is so callous. And so that we will continue in this day to meet our patriotic obstinance that puts our country first, that puts the middle class first, that puts people first, whether they voted for him or not. All of us deserve to have a president who can see us. So I thank you all so much again for coming out today. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you both.
Sue, my issue with her is she knows she's lying. Like, she knows that she's lying. Like, she literally knows. You guys, let me take a minute to like, share, hit the like button, comment, subscribe, you guys. Please help me out. Help me grow my channel, you guys. I'm trying to get the word out. But before I gotta really try. Oh, thank you, Matthew, for the super chat. You guys, I appreciate all of your super chats. I appreciate you sharing, liking. Please subscribe. It really helps my algorithms. So let's talk about Sister Girl. Let's talk about Also Brooks. Also Brooks she knows she's lying. She's saying that how is cutting Medicare and Medicaid going to reduce the price of eggs? He is not cutting Medicare or Medicaid. He has never said that he was cutting Medicare or Medicaid. He has never said that he was going to cut Social Security. What he's doing is he is trying to make sure that these departments are not so overhead heavy that it can go out to the people that it deserves to. And she knows that. Like she's very smart. Her hair is working. Sis is fly, okay? I really like the way she looks. She's smart, she's articulate, but she's a liar. I mean, it's just the truth. I know she's not dumb. So she's got to be lying. You could either be a liar or you could be dumb. And for her to be saying, let's make sure we're looking at her, cuz sis, sis is working. Look at her silk wrap, y'all. That thing is working. Anyway, go ahead, sis. But I gotta call you out. So for her to be saying that losing cracking down on the Department of Education is gonna make people lose their head start and all of that, she knows it's just not true. She knows the Federal Department of Education is unnecessary at best. Unnecessary. It's redundant. No, let me say it's redundant at best. At worst, it's unnecessary. At best, it's redundant. And what they're doing is they are trying to make the benefits that the agency provides consistent with the employees. U.S. aid is a different thing. U.S. aid, they were funneling money to pay for sex changes in Guatemala. They were funneling money to craziness, y'all, overseas. I mean, like craziness, right? To South Africa, they were funneling money. That's different. What he's talking about, what Doge is talking about with Social Security and Medicaid, is they want to make sure that it's going to the right people. Elon Musk actually talked about it today, where he said that there was people in the Social Security system that was getting benefits up that were 150 years old. The people were 150 years old. Now, you let me know. He said, you let me know if you know that person who's 150, because they're missing out on their Guinness Book of World Records. They're living long. We are trying to get rid of fraud and waste, okay? So that's their jobs, their employment, and trying to make sure that it's going to the people that it's supposed to. And they're mixing the two. They're mixing the two, and they're making Americans all emotional about it because they're lying to you. They're literally lying. And you know they're lying because they are out here speaking freely about it. And if President Trump was like them, and he's not, he will be trying to put them in jail. He will be trying to lock them up. But he's letting them speak freely, and he's allowing the American people to decipher what's true and what's not. That's why it's so great that YouTube and all these other platforms allow independent journalism, or even pundits and opinions. I don't look at myself as a journalist. I look at myself as a pundit. And I'm giving you my opinion because I want you to take a look at what's going on. Because if not, there was a time where all we would hear is from people like her. And she's lying. Literally lying. Lying, saying that, oh, how is lowering the cost, how is taking away people's Social Security going to lower the cost of eggs? First of all, lowering the cost of waste and fraud and all of that is going to lower the cost of everything. It's been 4 weeks. They told us to give Joe Biden a chance after 3 years. They were like, you haven't even given him a chance. It's only been 3 years. It's been 3 weeks with President Trump, and they trying to come for him. And I'm so glad. MAGA, we have got to stay strong, okay? Because they're trying to manipulate us. I will pay for more expensive eggs when I know that my government is not corrupt, okay? Let's keep going. Look at this dude. So Kweisi Mfume,
Representative
GE, they worked here. Time you run it.
y'all, Kweisi Mfume is in Congress out here. He ran against Kim Klacik, who is amazing, fantastic. Kweisi Mfume, I haven't seen him since the bridge went down last year. This man only come around for a press conference, a check, something. So him coming around here, exactly. You're right, Matt. But y'all hit me up in the comments. Matt said Donald Trump has done more in 4 weeks than Biden and Barry Soetoro in 12 years. Barry Soetoro, please. Anyway, so Kwesi Mfume is talking, and he calls it the Department of Government Evil. That's what he calls it. Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Let's look at him. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching this foolishness.
Somebody, every time you run into somebody that says you can't take down that power, we have to say, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Local 220. Local 220. Where are you? Where's the local from AFGE that worked here? Okay. I just want to make sure you're here, because we got some real fighting to do. Real fighting to do. Let me just say this. For 50 years, 50, I've been in fights like this. And for 50 years, I've seen fights like this become victorious. Because people don't stop. And so I'm glad all of the media is here. We need you to tell this every time you get an opportunity, over and over and over again. Because so many people think that they have no power. There are men and women in this building and elsewhere who have worked hard all their lives. They've loved their country. They've highly favored their faith. They believed in an America that was for all people. They get up every morning. They put on their clothes and they come to buildings like this all over the country to do a simple, nonpartisan job, and that is to serve the people of America with the best service they can provide. Yes, they work hard. Yes, they play by the rules. Yes, they love their country. Yes, they cherish their faith. And yes, they want a fair shot. What we're seeing coming out of Washington is anything but that. Every time you hear DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, you just remember it is the Department of Government Evil. Over.
No, sir. What's the Department of Government Evil is the people like you who take our American tax dollars, who take Maryland's tax dollars and do nothing with them. And you're mad that somebody is going in. Like, think about it, y'all. If you ain't got nothing to hide, like, right? You know that you do your business. You know that you spending the money the way it's supposed to be spent. If somebody come and audit you, you like, here, look, here you go. American people get audited all the time. And if we doing our stuff right, yeah, it's annoying, but we say, here you go. Why are these people so mad that the American taxpayer, your boss, we're your boss, has entrusted Donald Trump to hire the right people, like Elon Musk? He told us that before he elected it, so it's not a surprise, to investigate where our money is going. But that's evil. No, what's evil is people like you that are trying to gaslight the American people and make us somehow feel like, oh, poor employees. We don't owe y'all a job. We don't owe you a job. If you are not providing value and you have to go, we have to shrink government. We have a $2 trillion deficit. I'm sorry. Sorry. And I feel like President Trump is being more than nice because he gave Y'all, 8-month severance. He could have given you nothing. He could have said bye. He could have just laid you off. And these people are calling him evil. Y'all, it must be opposite day. It must be opposite day. These people are some of the most evil people. Quasi, I ain't seen him since the bridge fell. No one. If I ask anyone in the hood in Baltimore, in his district, what does he do? I guarantee you not a single person could say that he does. Not a single person. We seen also, Brooke, more than we seen him. Is she a senator? She don't even, we see her all the time. This congressman, if you from Baltimore, you know what I'm talking about. If you from Baltimore, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Quiet, have several seats, sir. Have several seats. We don't owe them anything, you guys. They owe us. They owe the American people. So that's going to be a whole buzzword now, is when you see DOGE, don't think Department of Government Efficiency, think the Department of Government Evil. It's not. Let me tell you, Elon Musk and President Trump are doing God's work right now, okay? Which brings me to the Department of you know, the Federal Department of Education. Y'all, we've got to talk about this. Where is all this smoke? So Maxine Waters is jumping in the face. They walking down to the Department of Education. They are mad. They are getting all upset about the Department of Government Efficiency auditing the Department of Education. Yes, that's what we want, you guys. It's redundant. So I say that to say, let's look at Pat David. Y'all already know he's one of my favorite. He did a video about this, and I'm just gonna just play it for you guys because I think it's just so important. Hold on. Let me play it.
Why not when they expand the education secretary of education?
Because I told Linda, I hope you do a great job and put yourself out of a job. I want her to put herself out of a job, education department. So we're ranked number 40 out of 40 schools, right? We're ranked number 1 in cost per pupil. So we spend more per pupil than any other country in the world. And we're ranked at the bottom of the list. We're ranked very badly. And what I want to do is let the states run schools. I believe strongly in school choice, but in addition to that, I want the states to run schools, and I want Linda to put herself out of a job.
So do you think that's something you can do with an executive order, or are you going to ask Congress to do it?
I would like to be able to. Look, if I could give the schools back to Iowa and Idaho and Indiana and all these places that run properly, there's many of them. I think, so if you look at the list, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, believe it or not, China's doing very well on that list, a list of well-educated, where they run their school system well. You have a lot of countries, not surprising names. I think that if you moved our schools into some of these states that are really well-run states, they would be as good as Denmark and Norway and Sweden and some of the other states. And then you'd have the laggards, and you know who they are. I don't have to go to it, but you'd have the laggards, the same laggards that are laggards with everything else, including crime.
Tom.
But even them, you'll...
Thoughts?
That's true.
I have more than 70,000 patients chosen AirSculpt to remove their stubborn fat.
Sorry, guys. So what he basically said is we spend the most amount of money on schools per pupil and the worst results. Y'all, that's a problem, right? So if other places are spending less and getting better results, then don't you think that that's something that they should look at? Like, don't you think that that's something that should be audited? Wouldn't you as a person, like, oh my God, if I had a shirt that I was cleaning, right? And I'm using a detergent that costs $45, right? $45, and it claims to be the best detergent is going to get my stuff clean, right? And I'm using it, and I'm buying this $45 detergent, and my stuff doesn't seem like it's getting better. It seems like it's getting worse. Like, when you start to ask yourself, why am I spending $45 on something and getting a worse result? I might as well just go get the cheap detergent, right? That is just very basic common sense. And that's what President Trump said that this administration is common sense. If we are spending the more amount on our education and our kids cannot read, write, or do arithmetics on grade level, that is something that we have to look at. And I'm so grateful to President Trump for putting it in the forefront and making Americans say, hey, maybe we should take a look at it. Because we've just been kind of going along because we've just been told that this is just the way that it is, right? We've been told that we don't have enough funding, or maybe if the schools had more money. And we now know that that's not true, that the leadership has betrayed the American people. So I'm so grateful that we're able to kind of even just talk about it, right? And they're mad that we're even just saying, hey, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. That's all President Trump is saying. And people are getting crazy. One of the things he also brought up, and this doesn't get talked about, is the places who spend more per pupil, Baltimore, New York, California, they have even worse results than the people who spend less. And all we keep doing is throwing money at the problem, money at the problem. At what point in time do we as American citizens say, hey, let's take a look because money doesn't seem to be working? And they're upset with President Trump and Elon Musk. They're bringing up the fact that they're going to get rid of Head Start. They're not getting rid of Head Start. They're getting rid of federal funding for Head Start. So what does that mean? If you don't have to pay federal dollars for Head Start purposes, then you more money can go to your state. And if you don't like what your state is doing, you can leave and go to another state. The federal government is wasting your money. I was watching the founder of Black Conservative Perspective because they were talking about the federal funds that go to the Pell Grants that for schools. Well, if all these people are getting Pell Grants and they know that the government is supplying endless amounts of money, then that's what's causing the price of schools to go up. If you knew that people had to pay out of pocket, it would drive the cost of the schools down. If you know that people can be in debt for the rest of their lives, I can't even get a license to drink, but I can sign my life away into eternal debt for a degree and then end up with a job at Starbucks. Like, the jig is up. The Pell Grant money, all of those things that the Federal Department of Education said that it was going to make America better or make the education system better, the jig is up. It hasn't done it. It hasn't. I have friends with degrees that don't have good jobs paying them enough money to pay their student loans. And then they go back because Pell Grants and student loans, they keep going back to get their masters. Then they go get their doctorates. And it hasn't changed their income. And then they get mad. Like, this system that we have, you guys, is not working. Other places are doing it for cheaper. And instead of us getting mad, we need to be thanking Elon Musk. We need to be thanking President Trump for the foresight to even be doing this because it's all going to benefit us, the American taxpayer. I don't understand what people don't understand about that. We are paying federal dollars for Baltimore City crap schools. And half of my friends that I know, they either homeschool or send their kid to private school. And they're fighting because he wants to explore voucher programs or being able to choose your own school or giving more money to the schools. Like, why are we fighting this, you guys? And the consequences are so major that these kids that we are paying to educate cannot even get a job. I think it was Robert F. Kennedy that talked about these same children. 90% of them can't even qualify for the American military. Like, what are we doing? This is existential. And then we have people like Kwesi and Angela also Brooks and ghetto girl Jasmine Crockett and wig what's her name? Y'all help me out. The what's the old lady? Can't even think of her name right now. Like, fighting. They got all this smoke for President Trump. They got all this, we going down and we going to protest, but you won't protest your failing schools. You won't protest that. Maxine Waters, thank you, baby. You won't protest your failing schools. You won't protest your failing government. You won't protest your failing healthcare. You won't protest any of that stuff. The kids in your districts cannot read or write or do math in grade level, but you protested for somebody's government job. Get out of here. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You are not a serious person. You can't be serious right now. You cannot be serious right now. You cannot be. Y'all, this is crazy. Let's check out this ghetto girl real quick. What's her name? Look at her. The golden child of the Democrat Party right now. Y'all, she stresses me out because she's just so full of it. She's so full of it, y'all.
Let's give it up for Representative Frost!
If you're looking for a career where you can make a difference,
I need YouTube Premium
to help connect with others.
Skip.
Let's give it up for Representative Frost! Next up, we have the wonderful Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas.
I'm gonna try my best not to preach.
Girl, that wig and the lashes.
I just want to say thank you, because every day that we show up in D.C., we show up for you. We know who we work for. We know that we work for the American people. And what we're not going to do is stand around while they pull this bullshit that they trying to pull right now. This is why I'm not going to be able to preach, because I probably won't be able to stop cussing. But let me tell y'all something. I know some of y'all have been frustrated, and you've been saying, "Where Democrats? Where are our leaders?" Well, I'm here to tell you that we ain't never left y'all. All right? We are here. We are also going to make sure that they uphold the law. We are not going to sit around while you go ahead and desecrate our Constitution, or you look at the laws that have been passed into law and say, never mind, we'll just ignore that. Instead, we are going to be in your face, we are going to be on your asses, and we are going to make sure you understand what democracy looks like. This ain't it. So let me tell you something, Mr. Trump. You gonna learn a few lessons from us. And I'm gonna be the first one. You and your little friend off of Twitter. Y'all about to find out, all right? Now let me be clear. What Maxwell said is true. Our job is to conduct oversight. We both serve on the oversight committee. And right now, as elected leaders who tried to go in, we were told, well, hold on a second. We got to check to see if you can come in. Now, y'all know he likes to pal around with Putin, right? He's trying to turn us into Russia. But I got news for him. We, the people, will not go.
These people are liars, y'all. So the gaslighting is so, like, it's crazy, right? So she is saying that they are oversight. Well, if you are oversight, sweetie, if you're oversight, then what happened to the oversight with all of our tax dollars going to USAID and to pay for transgendered surgeries? What happened to that? What happened to all the dollars in Social Security that people were paid out who were 150 years old? Like, y'all can't be this, like, naive to listen to her and all her and the nails and the lashes and the wigs. Like, that ain't phasing nobody, sis. We got questions, okay? Okay? The hood got questions, lashes. We got questions, sis. Jazzy. You want us to turn a blind eye now? No, baby girl. We done seen it now. And we got questions. So that's why she's trying to come up with he likes to pal around with Putin. We've been there, done that. We talked about Russia. That was 2016, sis. That ain't gonna work this time. Oh, Elon Musk is trying to tear up the Constitution. The Federal Department of Education is not in the Constitution, sis. It's not. It's not. It was created by Congress to do a job. And once it is decided that the job that it's created to do, it ain't doing it, then the President of the United States of America has a job to bring it to the forefront. To the people. Remember, we the people. We the people. That's what she's talking about. Well, we the people elected Donald Trump, and we the people said we want to see what y'all doing with our money. And they mad. They mad. Talking about Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump. Girl, you can't even stand in his presence, sis. These are billionaires. They will wipe the floor. And they were billionaires before they got a government check. I don't even think Donald Trump is even getting a government check. He probably has never even had a government check. Maybe the Section 8 apartments that he had in the 80s. But these are billionaires before you even came around. Lashes, wig, okay? So cut it out. Cut the BS. The American people don't care nothing about you being cool. They don't care nothing about you doing all of this. Where is the money, sis? Where is it? Because the hood ain't got it. We ain't got it. So all that, save it. Save it. Save it for Nancy Mace. We got questions. Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me? Y'all feel me? Then like, share, subscribe. Y'all, share this with somebody, okay? Share this with somebody. Like, subscribe. Y'all, please, comment. The hood got questions. She doing all of this. Everybody, she's cool. She's the it girl in Congress. Talking about, oh, yeah, we do oversight. Well, then how did that go? How did the people who were 150 keep getting Social Security, sis, with your oversight? Instead of you hanging your head in shame and saying, oh, my gosh, I didn't realize that it was as bad as it was. I'm willing to work with the American with the American president, even though he's not on my side. We are all on the side of the people. We need to make sure we get this right. Humble yourself. All this black girl magic, it's not given. It's not. Sis, whose side are you on? It definitely ain't ours. I'm just tired. I'm tired of these fake black like activists.
It is minimally invasive
without general anesthesia,
fastest recovery,
minimal.
The Department of Education.
So let's watch this because I think this is so important. These black activists, y'all, like they're just manipulating the American people, and it's so frustrating. People like that she's on, but she's a liar, and she's not putting money in our pockets. Watch this.
Is a national bureaucracy that attempted to make an average shirt and send it, and it doesn't fit anybody. What they have done, there were some well-intended things on national test standards and stuff, but they're absolutely correct. This bloated bureaucracy has got all this money, and you're telling me that Mississippi has got the same challenges that Connecticut does? They don't. And so the national body is actually 2 steps away, with governors of those 2 states saying, hey, I've got different problems that I have here with single-parent households and things in Mississippi that have been going on generations. I need to do this, and this, and this is what I need to help these students in Mississippi. And it's bad here and here. Massachusetts says, well, Connecticut says, well, my problems are a little bit different. I got this going on and that going on. I actually got pretty good math and English scores, but I've got these other things going on in the schools here. There are regional issues that go on that this is why we have governors. The reason the president doesn't, run the entire country without governors is because each state needs its leadership to act local. So you can think global, act local. So, but the Department of Education has presided over this. I mean, by definition, just look at the test scores. Look at what he said about international. Okay, who's been in charge? Department of Education. Okay, inherently, you're fired. You're done, and we're going to do something else with the money, and we're going to move it around.
Here's what Ro said about it. He's got a completely different perspective. Go ahead.
ABC News is reporting that President Trump plans to eliminate the Department of Education with an executive order. This is an assault on every young American who went to public school like me. This is an assault on every American family who has someone who is disabled and needs the IDEA program to provide education.
Chris, your thoughts on this?
You can't spend your way out of the problem. And it is a great, if misleading, statistic that we pay the most and we get the least. There are a lot of problems with the cost structure, and that is also state by state.
What do you mean misleading?
It's misleading in that the reason it is expensive is because what goes into government funding in the first place. If you look at the funding, it's not that the kid gets $9,000 a year.
Chris, we know that.
The system of what the unions have to, what the unions get out of it, and what all the staffing is, and the transportation, and the physical plants. There's all this other stuff that goes in it that's all very expensive in America. So that's not why you're failing. Why you're failing is very complicated. Getting rid of the DOE isn't going to necessarily automatically make things better because the states will have more control. Milton Friedman was very good on this. Get rid of the Department of Education. He would say yes, but then when you asked him for the rationale, he would wind up really just, it's about scaling. And again, these are political choices. Can Trump do it alone? No, that's easy. That's Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. If Congress funds it, Congress controls its existence. So you need Congress to get rid of a government agency.
What percentage? What percentage vote do you need to get rid of it?
Oh, just like any other law. You don't need a supermajority or anything like that. But you need a congressional act. But that's not the point. He doesn't have to get rid of it to gut it.
So he could get rid of it.
He could scale it down,
right?
But he cannot eliminate an agency. And that's okay, because that's not really the debate we're having. That's the debate they'll make. That's what Roe is doing, whom I also think is a fair broker, and I love having him on my show. But it's not about him overtaking constitutional power. That's not where we are. It's about how do you do this better? And everybody knows, look, I'll tell you what a taxpayer wouldn't argue with, okay? I'm going to raise your taxes, and we're going to have kids in school longer than anybody else in the world. and we're going to have the school day longer. We're going to feed them differently. We're going to educate them. We're going to exercise them. And we're going to do all these things that aren't getting done by families in this country anymore. I don't think taxpayers would have the same kind of problem that they do right now, because it's about the return on investment. All these kids are failing in the schools. Why? Because the standards have sunk. They're dealing with all these things that aren't education related. And there is no real incentive to succeed for any of these places. Nobody gets punished if their kids don't do well.
That's the budget right now. K through 12, 612.7 billion annually, about 12,612 per kid. Federal, state, and local governments spend about 720 billion annually, which makes it 14.8. Federal government provides 7.7% of funding. State provides 46.7, and local governments provide 45.6.
Right. Okay. You guys, it was a lot to unpack right there. So the first thing I want to do, Tom was talking about, which I thought was great. Tom was saying that the federal Department of Education took a concept like an average size shirt and tried to fit it amongst the entire United States of America. We all know that doesn't work, right? So the things that kids, I'm here in Maryland, the kids in Baltimore need something different than the kids in Iowa and Idaho. And that's what the Federal Department of Education, part of it, tried to do. Try to standardize it and to standardize test scores. And it's really just more government oversight, more big government, and it hasn't made anything better. I think that that's a really important. Hold on, give me a sec. I think that that's a really important analogy. It's not a one size fits all, especially when it comes to the states. He also said, I thought was really, really good about that's why we have governors. That's why we have governors. The president can't really do everything, and so we have governors to kind of look over the state and its needs. Unfortunately, some states do it better, and President Trump even said that when he was talking in the White House, and he said some areas you'll give them more money and they'll do really excellent things with it, but some places they'll still be bad because they're just bad leadership, high crime, and all of those other things. That's a Baltimore City kind of deal. I did think that it was really important to make that distinction. I think it's really, so we, the people, are really going to have to exercise our right, especially if you're conservative, to no longer sit around and take the abuse of some of these cities. I mean, seriously, there's so many conservatives that are paying for Christian schools and things like that. So we have really got to support President Trump in his effort of at least giving the voucher program, or at least pushing our states to allow our kids to have school choice and be able to go where they are. Chris Cuomo comes in, and Chris Cuomo, I want to like him, but he is just so left-leaning, it's not even funny. He irritated me a little bit when he was saying, oh, yeah, we'll take your kids, you'll pay higher taxes, and we'll take your kids, and we'll feed them, and we'll take care of them. Sir, they're my kids. I don't need you to feed them. I don't need the government. They want daddy government so bad on the left. It's not even funny. And they talk to these people like the kids are just the government's responsibility. But then they'll go on to say, and we'll watch a little bit more of this, but they'll go on to say that the fact that the kids are not learning is because of the parents. Y'all think the government can do a better job teaching kids? It's just weird. And we'll take a look at what he actually says. But then PBD goes on and says, in the United States, K through 12 schools spend about $612 billion annually. That's an average of $12,000 per pupil. That's crazy, y'all. The federal government provides 7.7% of funding. State governments provide 46%, and the local governments provide 45%. So if we took away the 7.7% of funding, then one could argue that the states and local governments can distribute it how they see fit. But I just see lower taxes for us, which is great. But can you imagine spending? Can you imagine spending $6.12 billion annually for a group of kids or group of citizens that cannot even pass a minimum basic skills test? And you ask yourself, what the heck are we doing? Yes, it deserves to be audited. $612.7 billion a year. And y'all don't think that we should be looking at why our kids can't read? And like you said, is a lot of the teachers, a lot of the people that are there, love teachers. I have nothing against teachers, but it is an area where there are no standards for the kids failing. Like if the kids fail every single year, no one says to the teachers, "Hey, what are you doing?" Or the teachers don't lose their jobs. The unions are lock in step with the Democrat Party, and that's a problem, y'all. Not because anybody's attacking teachers. We love teachers and we appreciate the thankless job that they do. However, if you're doing a thankless job and the results are not there, then we need to take a look at it. Maybe you need more support. Maybe something is going on. But we gotta have accountability. Yes, absolutely, Matt. We gotta have accountability. So let's keep going, y'all.
This is of the funding. Now you want to talk about, that's the funding. Now let's talk about the influence and CRT and DEI and the SEL and things that are going in there that the government is invoking. So the government's, if you take a look at the influence and control, it's not 7.7%. It's greater than that. And I think that what Ro Khanna is doing is he's standing up there, and it's a little bit of grandstanding. He was just here, respect him, thank you for being here. But to stand up there and saying, this is terrible, this is public. I was a public school kid. And what he's saying now, he picks out a program that is doing some good, IDEA, and says without IDEA, then these kids, that's a very populist thing you can say. Okay, Ro, but now let's go back to it and let's look at all the other things that aren't working. And we want to release the states to not be under the thumb of the DEA. The DEA, they need that. The schools actually need DEA, unfortunately, the DOE. And so to give the local, magistrators, and the governors and the mayors and everything to do it. And what that's going to do is that's going to force the states to come head to head with the unions in their state, and things like LAUSD, which is the largest school district in the United States, Los Angeles, and by its own admission, and the admission of people that have been there on city council, probably the poorest run school district in the United States. So, okay, now let's move all this down local and let's see if we can get some change out of it. It's not just about setting standards, it's in dealing with all the issues. And rather than IDEA coming from the federal government, Ro, we don't want it to go away. Something's going to have to replace the programs that are good, but let the state do it. They're at 93% of the total spend. 46 from the state and 44 from the local, right?
Right.
But take that the 7%, you can keep. Let's do something else with the money, but let's not have the government with the huge.
It's not a lot of money. Just take the 7.7.
It's not the money; it's the control.
I totally get that. Yeah, I totally get. I understand what you're saying.
So you can do it without getting rid of the DOE. You can keep the parts that work, and you get rid of the parts that don't. And these are political judgments. The president can do a lot of it on his own. If he can't, then he turns to his party and says, "This is what I want."
And you're going to find unions that are screaming at senators who are screaming.
If they get rid of it, I think DOE getting rid of DOE would be massive.
I don't think they're going to get rid of the entire agency, but again, you don't have to make the kinds of changes that are being discussed.
But you almost have to for the next administration to come in. You need to show the example of. If you don't, the next guy can come in and say no. Let's impose DEI. Let's bring back all the mindsets that we had before. Let's bring that back again. somebody can bring that back. It's been proven it didn't work. Adam, your thoughts on this?
Would you agree that there needs to be a dramatic change here? It's not like these are small numbers. Alarming lows. 40% of fourth graders, that's not 4%, 40% of fourth graders and 33% of eighth graders below basic levels. Basic levels.
Yeah.
Almost half below.
You don't.
So there was I posted this the other day because I want to give a shout out to hopefully the Eagles can beat the Chiefs this week. Do you remember when the mayor came out last week and she was like basically saying, "Let's go Eagles, E L G."
No, she didn't.
Watch this.
Yeah, let me hear you all say E-L-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
She did.
Wow.
Yeah, there she goes right there.
Do you think she can't spell Eagles?
I'm just saying.
Y'all, black women, why are they just embarrassing us at this point in time? I mean, oh my God, if I was black, I would be so annoyed. Like, y'all, I seen that a couple of weeks ago. And I don't think that she can't spell Eagles, right? But y'all, she didn't even stop herself and say, oops, sorry, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't even do that. Like, she just kept going. And it was just so embarrassing. I'm sick of it. It really is bad. You are a leader. And so if you catch yourself spelling Eagles wrong, you stop and you say, I just spelled that wrong. Let's do this again. I know how to spell it. Let's do it again. Y'all, and these are the people who are over our leadership. It's bad. Keep going.
Do you think she can't spell? It's not anecdotal.
No. But you know what? Before I posted that ridiculousness, I said, let me actually find out what the hell's going on.
How to spell Eagles?
In Philly. Podcast. According to the 2022 National Assessment of Education Progress, the NASA's report card, Philadelphia's fourth grade students had an average reading score of 195. That's below the average of large cities. Only 13% of Philadelphia's fourth graders was considered proficient in reading, well below the 40% that we talked about over there. Adult literacy is pressing concern in Philadelphia. Approximately 52% of adults in the city are functionally illiterate, meaning they struggle with basic reading. That's adults, 52%.
Yeah.
These statistics highlight the urgent need for comprehensive education reform and literacy programs. Let's go EGLSES. I know that's anecdotal.
This is not.
I know that's anecdotal.
This is not
but the numbers
new.
don't lie.
This is not new.
Tom says it all the time. Words talk, numbers scream. We got some dumbass people in this country.
Yeah.
And it's not a Democratic thing or Republican thing.
No, it is not.
Because if you look at what states are doing well and what states are not doing well, they all stupid is and stupid does.
Yeah, but this has existed for a long time. And we have a culture of accommodation, not of excellence. One of the reasons you guys have been able to distinguish yourselves is that Pat is so results-focused and oriented. You do not have that in our culture in a lot of places, specifically within our systems. You don't have it. You don't have it in our government. You don't have it in our education system.
Vivek, could you unpack that for me a little more?
That's exactly what he said.
I don't think these are new arguments. The question gets into, well, how do you change it? And the biggest thing in politics that people don't want to touch, you will not hear, whether it's Trump, I don't care who the politician is. No one's going to say, you know, Pat, your kids aren't doing well. You're not getting it done as a parent. How much phone time you letting them have? How much do you make your kid read every night? Well, I got to work. I got to do this. No, I understand. But, you know, it's on you. Your kid is a reflection of your efforts. Well, you're not going to hear anybody say that.
Wow.
You're not going to hear anybody say that. Why? Because I'm not there. You're not voting for me now. So our politics is about giving somebody an excuse for their own behavior.
He irritates me, y'all. And let me he legit irritates me. When people say this about Americans, it bothers me because Americans have been the most innovative. We have been the strongest. We've been the smartest. We've been the world leaders. Do we have some incompetent people in American culture? Yes. And one could argue, is that happened when we started all these migrants? Like all these immigrants. I mean, like seriously, when you let in the third world, then you get the third world results. And so I hate when snooty, like, people like him look at Americans and say, oh, well, you suck as a parent because your kid can't read, or you suck as a parent. First of all, if I am a parent who has, if I'm a parent who has been failed by my parents, and then my parents and then their parents have failed them, at what point do we step in as a community and help the children in the community? That is what the freaking school system is supposed to do, but you're fighting and saying, "Oh, well, you're supposed to control you're supposed to control your kid reading." Like Adam just read, half of these parents are illiterate. Half of these parents are illiterate. Half of these parents are on drugs. Half of these parents have a lot of problems that our culture has perpetuated. And then we look at them and say, oh, sorry, you suck as a parent. Yeah. The culture has perpetuated this. And so what we need to do as a culture is start to try and change the trajectory. It may take some time. It might start off with Doge having the Department of Education be audited and stop stealing our money. How about we start doing that? And then we get some quality teachers. And then we get some quality programs. If you're a situation like Baltimore, you start to encourage literacy at the adult level. I remember watching Lean on Me. You remember Lean on Me? And the girl who had gotten pregnant, she was doing her homework, and Mr. Clark was like, yeah, you can come learn too. Like, maybe we have to do some things different and invite the parents to learn right with the adults. There's so many things that we can do if we just focus on ourselves and focus on the needs of the state and focus on the needs of the people. And that's all Doge is trying to encourage. But then you have people like, God, what's his name? I can't. He gets on my nerves because he just goes wherever the wind blows. Cuomo. What's his name? Andrew Cuomo. Is it Andrew Cuomo? Yeah, whatever his name is. Cuomo. Yeah, so you have Cuomo sitting there with his, oh, you just need to be a better parent. What if they don't know how to be a better parent? Why don't we help? Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. And we're talking about Americans here, y'all. Like, we are, like, tied together, like, we're one nation under God, and we are each other's keeper. And so pointing the finger and saying, oh, Americans just, the parents just suck. That's not necessarily true. And when you say that, you're just being condemning and not, hey, how can we figure out in this district or the Baltimore City district? I remember moving here, and I asked one of the people that were on one of the councilmen, or he worked for the council member. And I said to him, if Baltimore could do one thing to change the trajectory of the city, what would it be? And you know what he said? He said literacy. He said most of the people here are illiterate and they can't read. So it's not like they don't know. They haven't had enough social pressure to focus on it. I remember watching this guy, and he was saying, well, how do you get Black parents, or how do you get poor parents to show up anywhere? You know how you get them to show up. But instead of sending that money to pay for salaries in Department of Education, how about we send that money for gift cards for people in the hood? Hey, we have a parent-teachers conference, and tonight we're giving away gift cards if you sit for an hour and listen to the teachers. Or hey, how about you guys come? We're gonna provide dinner for you guys, and we're gonna do a reading session. You know how to get parents to show up if you focused on it, if you cared about it. And that's what we need to do as a nation, not point fingers at who's not doing what. We are a nation of greatness. I believe that once we started allowing the third world and all these immigrants to come in is how we kind of ended up where we are at. We can get back there again. We got to love each other. We got to support each other. We got to support our president. We got to know he has our best interest at heart and that these people are lying to us. Flat out lying. It's lying at this point. You guys, we can do this. We can do this as Americans. I love that President Trump is bringing back our pride in being American, the Gulf of America, and turning back over the name of Fort Bragg from Fort Liberty. You know, they teared it down and it made Fort Liberty. He turned it back to Fort Bragg. Like, these are all things to build up a national pride. And we got to continue to do that for each other, man. We can do this, y'all. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys, thank you for hanging in there with me. Please like, share, comment. I appreciate your super chats. They bless me. Oh my gosh, they really do. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you standing by the principles that will ultimately make this country great. Do not be silent. Do not be silent. Don't be afraid of these people. Make sure you know truth when you see it. So make sure you speak it. Hey, do not forget to subscribe to KJCJ Christian Conservative on YouTube. Please subscribe. You guys, we are trying to get our subscribers up. We're trying to get our watch hours up. Please subscribe to KJCJ Christian Conservative. We have a good time. That is every Sunday and every Thursday at 9 p.m. So you guys, please go on over there, subscribe. I appreciate you watching. Please, if you're watching on X, my X be showing up. I love y'all so much, but I really, really, really need you to help me out on YouTube. So you can watch me on X, but I really need you to go and sub on YouTube. It would help me so much. It would bless me. You guys, thank you so much. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and until next time, peace.